knew that shit was going down. Some of you are like, I haven't felt this good since the election. Who knew we just needed an American Pie sing-along? The white people are like, my spine is back, my spine is back. Donald Trump's a racist! Felt good, huh? Meanwhile, all the black people were like, what the fuck is this? Nah, Negro, nah. I knew this was one of those private school Negroes. I knew this shit. So I get to Garden City, Kansas. Yeah, we're still there. It's like, this is gonna go for a while. This is like R. Kelly's Trapped in the Closet. It's gonna be... I get to Garden City, Kansas. I do the gig. It was fine. After the gig, I'm in the school cafeteria, and I get some tea, and I'm looking for some sugar to put in my tea. But I couldn't find any sugar, and all of a sudden I see the oatmeal station, and I see there's brown sugar over there, so I go, okay, I'll put brown sugar in my tea. And I walk over to the oatmeal station, and I put some brown sugar in my tea, and at that moment, this little old white lady sees me doing it, and she walks over to me, and this is what I'm saying, you hear things in small towns, I didn't even know how to react. She walks over to me, she goes, excuse me? Are you putting brown sugar in your coffee? I was like, no, in my tea. She goes, woo! Because if you had been, then I'd think to myself, now I've seen everything. No! Here's the thing about that. If that's your response to me putting brown sugar in my coffee, I know one of two things is true. Either you've seen everything, or more likely you've seen nothing! Not a goddamn thing. You are living Groundhog's Day every day of your life. You wake up, you go to work, you come home and watch that Wheel of Fortune Jeopardy back-to-back that's been on for 30 years. Then you immediately go, night-night. You've never seen primetime television. Now I've seen everything? From me putting brown... I was a little sad that I wasn't actually putting brown sugar in my coffee, you know what I mean? What would her reaction have been like then? I was like, maybe she's seen everything, and this is the last thing she needs to see before she dies, you know what I mean? She's got a bucket list and it's all filled out and she's ready to die, but she needs to see one more thing. Maybe she's like, I've been everywhere. I've seen everything. I was at Stonewall with my LGBTQ brothers and sisters fighting the cops. I was organizing with the migrant farm workers in Mexico. I was with Che Guevara when I said, keep wearing the hat, it looks cute. I was in Silicon Valley with Steve Jobs. I said, I don't give a shit what you call it Apple, I'm hungry, Steve. I've been everywhere. I've seen everything. But the one thing I've never seen is a random black guy putting brown sugar in his coffee. I just want to die. I can't wait much longer, but I was cursed as a young girl. I'm 172 years old. I see a black guy with a coffee cup. He's putting brown sugar in it. Lord Jesus, thank you. I've been a faithful servant. Excuse me, black man. Are you putting brown sugar in your coffee? No, it's my tea. Damn it! I want to shuffle off this mortal coil! Disappointed! The next day at Garden City, Kansas. No, I'm just kidding. Just keep going. So yeah, it's a lot of different people in this country with a lot of different ideas. Some of those ideas we need to fight back against when they're wrong-headed or they're hurting people, but some are just different. you know? And the amazing thing about having my kids, my daughters, is that I'm starting to see the world through their eyes, which are different than my eyes because they're different people, but also because they're living a different experience as mixed race / black kids. Thank you, white people, for that. They have this two identity thing, so I don't have all the answers for them about how to be, and my wife, who's white, doesn't have all the answers, so we have to learn through their eyes, you know? And it's sort of interesting because Sammy is darker than Juno, and I didn't realize how that was affecting them until one day I was talking to my two daughters. I was like, hey, you know, we're all black people. And I just said it, you know, because that's how we talk in my house. We're all black people. Their mom wasn't in the room at the time. I was like, hold on a second. We're all black people. And my daughter, Sammy, at that moment, looks at me and goes, and points at her sister. She was like, don't hurt her feelings. She's gonna find out she's white someday. And that's when I realized we've totally flipped the whole white supremacy thing in my house. In my house, black is good and white's the bad thing to be. She was like, don't hurt her feelings. She's gonna have to find out she's white. And as much as I knew that that was not correct, I was also too busy laughing. And looking for a pen to write it down, you know. And so in that space when I was laughing and looking for a pen, suddenly Sammy brightened up and suddenly goes, wait a minute, I just realized something. In our house, we have 2 blacks and 2 whites. It's like, are you thinking about a potential race riot? What are you doing? Yes, Donald Trump might bring around the actual race riot, but it's not going to affect our house. Like, think we're going to split up into teams in our house? All right, that's it. Blacks on that side, whites on this side. Let's do this. Like, we would also, and I gotta be honest, if we did have to have that kind of fight in the house, I love Sammy, she's tough, but I want the 3-year-old, my daughter Juno. If you're in a fight, you want a 3-year-old with you because they don't play fair, and Juno, because 3-year-olds have that thing where they're like, they have all their physical capabilities, but their brain hasn't caught up with their bodies, so they can't get the words out. They're kind of like teeny tiny Hulks, you know what I mean? Just, so that's who I want on my side if we're breaking into fight teams in the house, I gotta be honest. Like, as Juno's just, like, she's adorable and she's sweet, but sometimes she just gets mad. Like, she actually, like, takes swings at people. Like, you know what I mean? Just like she regularly will take a swing at me. And again, I'd like to parent in that moment, but it's also kind of adorable and hilarious. Because one time she took a swing at me, I go, okay, wait a minute, Juno. What's your best case scenario for this? What's your best case? Let's say you hit me in my thigh, somehow that hits a pressure point and you knock me the fuck out. I'm just out. Then what happens? You eat all the bananas you can reach, then what happens? She looked me right in the eye and said, I figure out. Yeah, it's tough. And so now the thing is, we've had to teach her that she's got to be careful. Because we actually got our first note home from her school. Because apparently, there was a disturbance over a toy, and her and the little boy fought over the toy, and the note said she hit the boy, and she actually scratched him with her fingernails. And it's moments like that you find out a lot about yourself and who you are as a parent. Because in that moment, I turned to Juno and I said, Juno, we got to cut your fingernails, because, don't do the crime and the time, Juno. I think that's how that expression goes. Yeah, I wasn't really mad at her for hitting the kid. I learned from my mom, you don't take the state side against your child, you know what I mean? So now we have a rule that Juno is not allowed to hit anybody but me. Because the point being, I don't want her walking around hitting people, but also, as a future lady, I want her to know how to throw a punch. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want the first time she needs to throw a punch to be the first time she's thrown a punch. At some point, she's gonna be like, I know I'm not supposed to hit people, but wagga! And the great thing is because she's hitting me, she's like really getting her core strength up because I'm huge. I'm like 180, 182 pounds, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so she's really working her core. You know what I mean? Unlike some What's Love Got to Do with Angela Bassett era, you know what I mean? So, and I think that's great because one time she'll have to hit a dude. What did you say? Wada! Like flawless victory. Finish him. So, but I realized that Juno being lighter, the world does not always see us as being connected because she looks white to white people, not to black people. Black people are like, I see that hair and that nose. That's one of us right there. It's got a little extra kink to it. But I realized that when we walk around the world together, it's just the two of us, the world doesn't always see us as being connected, you know? And so the thing with Juno is that, like I said, she's like a little, like, and but she also likes to run. And so sometimes she'll be like, Dada, can I run? And I'm like, yeah. She goes,